10 money secrets they never teach you in school. Going to school, graduating, finding a job, retiring, receiving an allowance. This is the dream. That's right. Every school educates its students to follow this path. The only problem is that it no longer works. If you appreciate the video you watch and want to help us continue creating interesting content, we kindly ask you to consider the idea of subscribing to our channel and leaving us a donation to support us. Thanks to your support, we will be able to continue improving and offering you new insights. You can do it here below, through the appropriate buttons, subscribe, and thanks. 50 years ago, this economic path made a lot of sense. However, the entire tax system, pension system, and legal system have changed so much that what is taught in schools about money is completely outdated. The main reason we chose this topic is the lack of financial literacy lessons in the current education system. Times have changed, and if you don't want to spend the rest of your life penniless, it's best to take pen and paper right now. Before we start, give a thumbs up to this video and press the subscribe button and bell icon if you haven't already. Let's begin. 10. The correlation between emotions and money. Let's start with the most important secret about money that only marketers and big brands know. 30% of what you spend your money on is tied to certain emotions. You surely didn't know that. Most of the time, what we buy is based on what we feel. Therefore, brands exploit the possibility of triggering the right emotions to make us open our wallets. I must admit I'm a victim of this too. At the end of a bad day, I sometimes buy something to feel better. Similarly, women sometimes make impulse purchases to feel better. There's nothing wrong with doing it occasionally, but the problem is that every time they fall victim to these marketing tricks. Did you know that the gray iPhone costs about $20 more than other colors? But all models have the same features. Likewise, just as our emotions determine how we spend our money, our financial situation also affects our emotions. When you don't have money, you're probably not as happy as the rich person next door. Depression rates are higher during recessions and financial crises. The correlation between money and emotions is important, but no one teaches it in school. If we had been taught about money and finance earlier, can you imagine what kind of adults we would have become? I bet many more people would be happier and financially richer. 9. Multiple sources of income. The only way to earn money is to receive a salary. We are rarely taught other ways to make a living. The education system only teaches us how to apply for a job, build a CV, and get a job. In short, we are taught how to be slaves to other people's dreams. If you live only on your salary, you have a problem. There are several ways to get extra income outside of work. Put part of your salary into high-yield investments. You can also start a business. Provide a service in your area of expertise outside of working hours. There are many things that are not taught in school. If you don't already have a side job, you need to find one as soon as possible. 8. How to build credit. Before getting approval for a loan, credit card, or mortgage, the financial institution offering them must perform a credit check. Qualification is based on your credit score. Your credit score is determined by your previous credit history, including whether you've paid loans on time and borrowed money. The point is that this is one of those things you have to learn on your own. It's not taught in school. Your credit score might be low not because you haven't paid a loan, but because you haven't applied for a loan. Yes, you knew that. Credit cards and loans are not a bad thing, it's how you manage them that matters. In fact, the only way to increase your credit score is to ask for a loan or use a credit card, but always paying it on time. Also, be very careful before applying for any type of credit. Make sure you comply with the terms and conditions indicated. The reason this is so important is that if you are denied a loan, it will be recorded as a negative note on your profile for the next 7 years. Ouch. That hurts, doesn't it? So regularly check your credit and apply for loans sparingly to always be at the forefront. Also check your statements to verify there are no errors or fraud. 7. Saving. Have you ever heard a teacher walk into class and say, "Today we'll learn about the importance of saving"? The answer is probably, never heard that. Well, it's not the fault of the teacher who follows the curriculum to the letter, but it would have been nice to learn 1 or 2 saving tricks along with complex algebraic calculations. But it would have been nice if they could have learned 1 or 2 saving tricks along with complex algebraic calculations. Or, if you were lucky, your parents might have taught you to save. If you want to learn more about money management, check out the other videos. There are many videos dedicated to money management. For now, here's a quick summary of the basics. First, before you start saving, make a budget of everything you spend, reduce what you can, and omit what you can. Then, decide what percentage of your salary you can set aside for savings. The ideal percentage is 40%, but if you haven't reached that yet, start with a small amount and gradually increase it. Once you've saved for a while, even 3 months, invest the money somewhere else instead of leaving it in the bank. We talked about compound interest in another video, so keep watching to see how you can use compound interest to get rich. 06. Bargaining. Bargaining on price is the language of the rich. We're not talking about rich people. We're talking about billionaires, not millionaires. Price negotiation is one of the least known secrets. The golden rule is never to back down in a negotiation. Negotiate the interest rate, negotiate the purchase point, negotiate anything you're paying for. I'm not suggesting you go to Walmart to negotiate the price of fruit juice. But if you're asking for a mortgage, you can negotiate the interest rate. If you're buying a house in cash, you can negotiate the lowest price. If you bargain, you can save a lot of money. In my opinion, this is deserves a print. 05. Managing debt. No one can tell you how to manage your debt. In my opinion, this should be offered as part of the school curriculum. However, not everything important is taught in school, so here's what you'll learn about debt from YouTube videos. Most people get into debt once they finish university. In addition to student loans, they resort to a series of credit cards and accumulate even more debt. Without the right skills to manage debt, most find it depressing to live paycheck to paycheck. The key to managing debt is to start keeping track of all outstanding debts and their due dates. Never miss a payment deadline, because this affects your credit score and could result in additional late fees. Also, don't borrow more than you can afford to repay. For more information, watch our other videos on personal finance. 04. Pensions. Unfortunately, retirement planning is not learned in school. Retirement planning should start as soon as you graduate. Most pensions are calculated by your employer's human resources office, but some are not. Having a retirement plan is important to ensure that when you stop working, you have enough to live on for the rest of your life. Otherwise, you'll be a burden on your family and friends. Look for a retirement plan as soon as possible and invest in one. 03. Passive income. To be honest, most people know nothing about passive income. If they do, they probably didn't learn it in school, but from a YouTube video or a blog post. The reality is that most people earn money by saving time to be paid. Not everyone tries to make money through means that don't necessarily require a great deal of time. We've been educated to think that we have to devote a lot of time and energy to get results. Therefore, the idea of being able to earn while sleeping is often discarded. Someone might already be doubting what I'm saying. It's the education system. The most common sources of passive income include selling digital products like ebooks, courses, and apps, buying high-dividend stocks, and the list goes on. Do research on the different channels and choose the one that best fits your budget, lifestyle, and needs. 02. Compound interest. Compound interest is perhaps the most important financial secret. It works almost like magic. The concept is very simple to understand, but not everyone gets it. Compound interest allows you to reach your financial goals faster than you can imagine. In the early years, to be honest, your money grows very slowly, but in later years it grows exponentially. For example, if you invest $10,000 a year in an index fund at a 7% rate, it will take 15 years to grow your wealth to $300,000, but from there it will reach $1 million in just 12 years. In other words, if you want to become a millionaire and retire, you should start harnessing the magic of compound interest right away. Understanding how compound interest works will help you wait patiently, even if growth is initially very slow. 01. Assets are the key to wealth. Assets are important as long as you want to build wealth. But this means they are never taught in schools. Assets can be depreciating assets, like cars, or appreciating assets, like land or real estate. The goal should be to acquire appreciating assets rather than depreciating assets. Being rich means owning your time. A sure way to achieve this kind of freedom is to acquire assets that earn you money while you sleep. This can be stocks, rental real estate, bonds, websites, or income-generating businesses. Once you have enough assets, you can fall into the category of the rich. They no longer need a day job and have all the hours of the day at their disposal. That's all for today. I hope you learned something about money. It's a shame that the most important things are not taught in school. If you want to learn some basic financial concepts, such as money management, investing, how the stock market works, the basics of taxation, and the benefits of home ownership, share your personal experience on today's topic with us. Write it in the comments and ask us any questions you may have. We will be happy to answer. Leave a comment so that we can perfect our creations. We will be happy with your simple like, but the most important thing is not to forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming videos.